Alright, guys, so now that we know what sexual assault and sexual harassment and rape and all those other introduction topics include, let's go ahead and move on to the actual civil engagement aspect. So we're going to start off with some communication types. We're going to start from when the MeToo movement originally was brought into life, which starts back in the early 2000s. Obviously, we still had social media like MySpace, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now due to the technology at the time. So we have television, where you can see all the rallies, protests, news, media coming off, talking about such objects or such speakers coming out. You got radio, which comes out with actual group members and advocates speaking about their own stories and where people can go to get help. And honestly, you just got the general news host talking about when and where events are held or what the latest event that happened was. And they're actually advertising the Me Too movement without necessarily trying to. You got your conferences that everyone would go to, college visitations, celebrity meetings, TED Talks. Everyone puts so much stock in the TED Talks that it's actually a decent way to learn more about Me Too movement and sexual assault and all that. You got your web pages, in this case the homepage, which has blogs, stories, future events coming up, and people all talk about their own experiences or how they've helped someone. You got your print, newspaper, magazines, flyers, pamphlets, and then the most prevalent one that most people use is social media, just because of the growth and how easily accessed it is these days with phones, laptops, computers, watches. I mean, it's just too easy to get to it. Not to mention there's so many different social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Marco Polo, WhatsApp, Skyping, Snapchat. It just goes on and on. YouTube, technically. Now, the group shares information with each other in the more typical means, obviously, phone calls, meetings, all that. Initially, it started off as a grassroots kind of organization, which is essentially a group of people came together trying to support those who had been harassed or assaulted or raped, young girls or young boys in low-income areas. And instead of appealing to legislature directly, they would try to sway people to go and make votes at legislature. So it's an indirect way of lobbying. But due to globalization that had happened and was building on and is still happening now, and the explosion of social media, we have connections everywhere, and everyone has a friend somewhere. So it just makes it to where group members are growing exponentially. Instead of meeting up as a group and meeting in a conference room and talking things out, now people Skype. They have conference calls on their phone. They have mass group messages. They can support each other on social media. So now the group actually expanded from founding members and important people who would be involved with the planning and the processing and the researching to, we have people in, we'll say, New Mexico, for example, that has never been to the home base of New York, yet they support the Me Too movement and they try to get people to help join and all that. That's how people communicate in this group. Now, we'll move on to the next point.